Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin and welcome back to the channel. Someone recently asked a really great question in the comment section on this channel. When do our contributions to an investment account no longer really matter? What they're really asking is, at which point does my portfolio grow so much on its own that whether or not I continue contributing, it doesn't move the needle that much? Let's talk about some of the big milestones when it comes to investing. Those points along the way that really stand out and remind you that compounding is working. The first $10,000 invested. This might not sound huge, but it is an important milestone. When you start out investing, often you start out by saving, say, $50 a week, or just 5, 10, maybe 15% of your paycheck. And it can take a while until you hit this point. But this is where you start to see that your efforts are paying off. You look at your account and you say, that's real money. You should celebrate that. The first $100,000. This is the milestone Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett always talk about. The hardest, but also the most important. Because once you're here, compounding really starts to feel real. Let's say you get to the point where you have $100,000 invested, and then we have a year like we did in 2024, and the S&P returns 25%. Well, all of a sudden, your $100,000 portfolio grows to $125,000. That is real momentum, and this is when you notice your money is working hard. Next, the crossover point, when portfolio growth is bigger than your contributions. This is what we talked about earlier here. It's that moment where your portfolio is growing by more than you are adding to it each year based on your contributions. And that moment isn't the same for everyone. It depends on how much you're putting away. But it is a powerful psychological shift when you notice that your portfolio is carrying more of the burden. It is growing your money by more than what you are adding. This next one is huge. It's the milestone where your portfolio is generating more than your job. For me, I always have a funny memory tied to this one. I've shared this before on this channel, but growing up, money and investing has always been a pillar in my life. My mom and my grandma shared money lessons with me from a very early age. By the time I was 8, I bought my first stock. It was Campbell Soup. My parents doubled my purchase of this stock on my birthday present. That is what I asked for. So investing has always been a part of my life. And I remember being in my early 20s and with my mom in a bank, and we were talking with a teller and saying how amazing it would be when you get your portfolio to the point where it's generating essentially your annual income or more as a return. And the teller turned to me and said, that never happens. That's not even a realistic goal. My mom and I looked at each other and we were thinking the same thing. This individual doesn't believe in compounding yet, but we both knew that if you stay in it for the long game, yes, it does happen. Another milestone is hitting your Coast Fire number. This is where you could stop saving altogether and compounding would carry your portfolio to your target goal by your target retirement age. Now, you can still contribute to your portfolio, but there's a great sense of relief in knowing that you don't have to. Another big milestone is having 1 times your annual income saved. This is another big one, often highlighted by Fidelity or T. Rowe Price as a retirement benchmark. And they often suggest that by the time you're age 30 or in your 30s, you should target to have 1 times your annual income invested. And this can put you ahead of the game when saving for your retirement. Now, I say this all the time. There's nothing magical about $1 million in practical terms. And yes, inflation has chipped away its significance, but still $1 million is a huge cultural marker, and it can be a fun goal to hit that nice round number, get an extra comma in your bank statement. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're chasing a goal that is meaningful for you and not just something that the culture has defined as important. Next, when your portfolio covers your basic living expenses. This is a really big milestone when it comes to peace of mind. When your portfolio generates enough on an annual basis to cover all of your essentials. So think of housing, transportation, healthcare, things like that. This is really your first taste of financial freedom. Now, your portfolio might not generate enough at this point to cover the little luxuries in life, like taking a vacation or a fancy dinner, but you have the security of knowing that if you were to lose your job for any reason, your portfolio would cover all of your necessities, and that does bring a great sense of security. Beyond that, when your portfolio covers all of your lifestyle expenses. This next step is when your portfolio is enough to cover your entire lifestyle, including all of the luxuries. So it would cover your housing, your food, your transportation, a vacation every single year, the life you want to live. And for many people, this is what they envision when they envision saving for retirement. And yes, for most people, it takes decades to get to this point. And finally, the ultimate milestone, when your portfolio sustains your entire lifestyle and you don't have to work anymore, but maybe you choose to. At this stage, when you choose to continue working, you're doing so because you love your job, because it gives you a sense of meaning, because you want to build a greater legacy to pass on. You're not just working because you have to. You're not working for the paycheck. You're working for something more. Leave your thoughts in a comment down below. I post new videos every single week. If you got anything at all out of this one, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Or if you know of someone who might get something out of this type of content, please consider sharing. I'll see you soon. Bye.